again, everybody, and welcome to the final edition of the High School Football Stat Leaders, as always brought to you by Spitzer of Mansfield. If you need a vehicle, head on over to the fine folks of Spitzer. They will hook you up with a quality vehicle. I am Travis Big League Berardi here with the final edition. The champions will be unveiled here today for our stat leaders in passing, rushing, receiving, and total touchdowns. I can't believe we've already gone through the high school football regular season, but before we start with our playoff season, let's give you the champions in each of our statistics. And let's first talk about the rushing champions, and I announced it last week. Connor Dawson had such a big gap between him and Dane Nauman that we called him the winner last week, and it is now official as he is the rushing champion with a huge performance against Northwood. 6 touchdowns and over 200 yards rushing. He finishes with 23-34 on the season, over 800 yards ahead of Colin Klein of Mapleton, who jumped Nauman with a 200-yard performance against Crestview to get 1,495 yards. Mapleton on the week 11. So is Dane Nauman. He finishes with 1,439 yards rushing. So another top 3 finish for the great Dane Nauman down at Highland. There's your top 3. Evan Benfer of Monroeville finishes in 4th with 1,419 yards, just 20 behind Nauman for the top 3 spot. Aiden Raymer of Crestview finishes out the top 5, 1,395, meaning 4 out of the 5 finishers in the Firelands Conference. We can make it 5 out of the final 6, as Josh Pokos of St. Paul finishes with just over 1,300 yards rushing. Lucas's Logan Toms made a jump from 10 to 7 in a week with a 200-yard rushing performance. He finishes at 12:42 over Gabe Ivey of Galleon with 11:88. Winford's Anthony Evans with 11:23, 2 yards ahead of the big man down at Danville, Cole DeLauder, who finishes with 1,121 yards. So congratulations to all 10 of our final top 10 rushers, as well as Connor Dawson, who just dominated this season as Western Reserve. A big matchup at home, 8-9 matchup with Black River coming up on Friday. They'll need his rushing if they want to get to week number 11. So there you have it, the champion and top 10 in rushing. Now let's see who the passing champion is, and I have a feeling I know who it is. No, I don't. Gotcha, it's Braden DeVito. You thought Isaac Robinson was going to have the numbers, but no, DeVito beats him by 12. Braden DeVito, the sophomore from Shelby, is your passing champion, dethroning Isaac Robinson. 2,717 passing yards, just ahead of the 2,705 of Isaac Robinson. Third place, though, Chase Ebert of River Valley finishes with 2,176, so a nearly 600-yard difference between third and first. So DeVito and Robinson just showed out this regular season. Now to the rest of the top 10. Upper Sandusky's Caden Holman finishes in 4th with 2,075 yards. Bogpin Miller broke the 2,000-yard passing mark as well in week 10, finishes with 2,004 yards. AJ Bauer of Northmore, 1,985 yards. He will finish in 6th. He is him and Robinson, the lone 2 players that aren't representatives of the MOAC or the Northern 10 in this top 10. Alex Stokes of Marion Harding finishes in 7th with 1,879. Mohawk's Ben Bogner, 1,813 and 8th. Owen Lowry of Pleasant, just a yard under 1,800 yards at 1,799. And Seneca East Blake Foose with 1,710 yards finishes out the top 10. So you needed 1,700 yards to get into our top 10. It's 170 yards a game just to make it into this list. So congratulations once again, Mr. DeVito. 2 years remaining as well, so he has a chance to maybe three-peat if he can keep it up. But also congratulations to Isaac Robinson and the amazing career he's had at Willard. Now to the guys that catch the balls from these quarterbacks, the receiving yards, and the champion is Cam Robinson of Willard. He out-receives Isaiah Ramsey of Shelby, so Willard and Shelby both get a statistical champion in this one. Cam Robinson finishes with 1,267 yards receiving on 90 catches. Isaiah Ramsey only needed 54 catches to go over 1,000 yards. He's at 1,080. That's 20 yards per catch. phenomenal for Ramsey and Shelby as they get 2 home games in the postseason, and they are the lone 2 receivers to go over 1,000 yards in the area. James Rinfuss of Winford, they're on the move. They're hot at the right time going into the postseason. He finishes with 878 receiving yards, just ahead of Highlands' Caden Reichenbach, who finishes with 842. 3 yards ahead of River Valley's Kean Shadone. He overtook Shadone in the last week for 4th. Shadone 5th at 839. Well ahead of Northmore's Jax Wenger with 664. His teammate Bo Landon just outside of the top 10. He finished either 11th or 12th. But Wenger finishes 6th. 7th place, Aiden Smith of Pleasant at 652. 12 yards ahead of East Knox Brayson Davis. What a one-handed catch he had in overtime. Nearly brought East Knox back once again to Danville. They couldn't get the 2-point conversion, though, so the Danville Blue Devils finished 10-0. But Davis at 8th with 640, 10 yards ahead of Marion Harding's Keontae Scott at 630, and he is 10 yards ahead of his teammate, tight end Raymond Harbolt, with 620 yards. So there you have it, the receiving top 10 and champion once again, Cam Robinson. Congratulations. Isaiah Ramsey as well. Congratulations, over 1,000 yards. Now to the final statistic and our new one for this season, the touchdowns, the guys that get you the fantasy points. And here is the champion. It is Caden Holman of Upper Sandusky, the dynamic quarterback. He can run, he can pass. He finishes with 39 total touchdowns and over 3,000 total yards. Second, there is Connor Dawson, 36 touchdowns on the ground alone and 1 receiving touchdown. Like I said, that is crazy anywhere you have it. So Dawson finishes second, 2 touchdowns behind Holman, 2,334 rushing yards. Braden DeVito, 36 total touchdowns, 3,826 total yards. That broke the tie between him and Evan Benfer, who finished with 36 as well, but he only had 2,352 total yards for the quarterback from Monroeville. Willard's Isaac Robinson, he is there at 34 touchdowns, 2,883 total yards. Ontario's Bogton Miller breaks the 30-touchdown mark for passing and rushing combined. 31 touchdowns, 2,886. A.J. Bauer finishes alone in 7th place, 29 touchdowns, just under 2,000 total yards. 1 touchdown ahead of Blake Foose from Seneca East. He finishes with 28 touchdowns, 2,725 total yards. And then we had a tie for 9th place and 10th place. There's a couple other players with 27 touchdowns, but like we say, the tiebreaker is total yards by the player. So Chase Ebert, the quarterback from River Valley, 27 total touchdowns, tiebreaker 2,956 total yards, and then Pleasant's Owen Lowry rounds it out with those 27 touchdowns. He finishes with 2,355 total yards. So congratulations to the top 10, and congratulations to Caden Holman for being our touchdown champion, our overall, I guess you could say that was our fantasy football statistical champion right there, Caden Holman. Great season once again for him and Upper Sandusky. But that's it. We're done. That was our final statistical breakdown of our high school football teams here in North Central Ohio. Once again, want to shout out Spitzer of Mansfield for sponsoring this segment each and every week that we have done it. If you need a vehicle, head on over to the fine folks at Spitzer. They will give you a quality vehicle. But my name is Travis Big League Berardi. We're not done with high school football coverage, though. This week, 7 live streams coming your way on the OH Report, as well as 1 highlight. So the Pigskin will be back for Week 11. We'll have all the breakdown of those games, as well as scores from our regions from around the area, and see who will make it to Week 12. But I have some volleyball we got to do. We got volleyball, we got soccer this week, we got football, and we're going to have that in the next week as well. So stay tuned. I will see you on a court, a pitch, or a football field near you.